Okay, Assalamualaikum tuan. Nama saya Muhammad Aiman Hakim. Nombor matrik saya F1116. Okay, make it too easy. Kita move kepada soalan. Okay. Okay, soalan 1A ni dia suruh kita terangkan tentang kegunaan air ni secara domestik dan komersial. Daripada segi domestik, use depend on climate, social status, quality and cost of water, sanitation system, supply and consumer awareness. Okay, daripada segi komersial pula, demand estimation made by quantity of employee, resident and space. Okay, kita move kepada soalan B. Okay, di soalan B ni kita memerlukan dia suruh kira population pada tahun 2030 menggunakan dua kaedah iaitu arithmetic dan geometrik. Okey, data yang diberikan hanyalah population daripada 1950 sehingga ke 2000. Okey, kita buat jadual untuk menyelesaikan menggunakan kaedah arithmetic method. Okey. Daripada tahun, kita senaraikan tahun daripada 1950 sehingga tahun 2000. Lepas tu kita senaraikan population dia. Lepas tu kita kena cari population increase, kenaikan setiap tahun. Okey, daripada tahun 1960 ke 1950 dia meningkat sebanyak 120,000 dan seterusnya 5,300, 530,000, 6,000, 60,000, 600,000, 100,000, 300,000 dan sebanyak 50 tahun. Okey, kita totalkan dia, kita akan dapat 1,650,000. Okey, kenaikan sebanyak 5 tahun. Okey, lepas tu kita kena cari purata dia untuk setiap tahun kenaikan. Okey, 1,650,000 tu dia bahagikan kepada 5 tahun. Kita akan dapat purata kenaikan population sebanyak 330. Okey, lepas tu kita start dari kita tahu daripada tahun 2000. Lepas tu kita nak kena tambah lagi 30 tahun. Okey, daripada 2000 ke 2010 population dia 2 juta ditambahkan dengan 330. Kita dapat 2,330,000. Okey, lepas tu tambah lagi untuk ni 200. Okey, kita akan dapat 2,660,000 untuk tahun 2020. Dan yang soalan minta 2030, bila ditambah dengan 330,000 tu kita akan dapat 2,990,000 untuk tahun 2030 menggunakan kaedah arithmetic. Okey, seterusnya geometry method. Okey, step dia lebih kurang dengan arithmetic method. Kita kena tambah, kita kena cari peningkatan setiap tahun. Okey, lepas tu kita kena cari peratusan dia kenaikan untuk population. Okey, cara dia adalah kenaikan tahun dibahagikan dengan tahun sebelumnya, population tahun sebelumnya didarabkan dengan 100%. Kita akan dapat persen dia. Okey, kita teruskan. Selepas kita tambah gunakan formula ini untuk setiap tahun kenaikan, kita totalkan dia, kita akan dapat 230.949%. Okey, lepas tu kita dibahagikan 5 sebab ada 50 tahun. Kita akan dapat 46.19%. Okey, lepas tu kita dah dapatkan 20%. Okey, untuk tahun 2010 kita hanya tambah tahun daripada population daripada tahun 2000 ditambahkan dengan peratusan didarabkan dengan jumlah population tahun sebelumnya. Okey, lepas tu kita akan dapat 2,923,800. Okey, kita selesaikan untuk 2020, kita akan dapat 4,273,503 orang. Okey, dan untuk 2030 kita akan dapat 6,247,434. Okey, itu saja daripada saya. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum, nama saya Muhammad Syarul Imran bin Ramli, nombor kad metrik 1117. Saya akan membentangkan untuk soalan set Disember 2016 yang final exam punya. Untuk session A, soalan 1. Yang pertama sekali, untuk soalan 1, soalan A. Permintaan air biasanya dikelaskan mengikut jenis penggunaannya. Kenal pasti 5 klasifikasi permintaan air. Antaranya ialah yang pertama sekali, domestic demand. Yang kedua, commercial demand. Yang ketiga, industrial demand. Yang keempat, agriculture, crops, livestock. And the last one, public use. Itu untuk soalan A. Soalan seterusnya, soalan B. Dekat soalan dia minta permintaan air ialah ukuran jumlah air yang digunakan oleh pelanggan. Terdapat beberapa perkara yang mempengaruhi jumlah permintaan air. Tafsirkan 5 faktor yang mempengaruhi permintaan penggunaan air. Antara 5 yang soalan suruh tafsirkan adalah yang pertama sekali, climate. Climate iaitu increase during hot season. Yang kedua, social status. Higher status use more such as swimming pool, bathtub, water park. Yang ketiga adalah water quality, iaitu good water quality makes them desirable to consume. Number 4, sanitation system. Untuk flush toilets use more water than conventional toilets. 5 types of supply. 24 hours supply a day use more water than rationing water supply. Itu untuk soalan B. Soalan terakhir iaitu soalan C. Dekat soalan dia suruh kirakan keperluan air pada tahun 2020. Diberi maklumat di bawah data populasi untuk Taman Keladi pada tahun 1990. Di sini dia tunjuk maklumat yang diberi, iaitu bilangan rumah sebanyak 1,300 rumah, purata ahli rumah 7 orang, peratus pertumbuhan penduduk 3.0% setahun, penggunaan air per kapita 200 liter per orang per hari. Faktor perkhidmatan 0.98, permintaan industri ringan 25,000 liter per hari. Faktor reka bentuk 2.5, NRW 12%. Okey. Mula-mula kita perlu tentukan dahulu dia punya population untuk tahun 1990. Untuk dapatkannya, kita perlu ambil bilangan rumah untuk 1990 dikalikan dengan purata ahli rumah pada tahun tersebut, iaitu 7 orang. Kita kalikan, dapatlah 9,100. Itu untuk population untuk 1990 di Taman Keladi. Seterusnya, ni untuk kita dapatkan population pada tahun 2020. Untuk dapatkan population tahun 2020, kita perlu ambil peratus pertumbuhan penduduk setiap tahun yang bermula daripada 1990 sampai ke 2020, tahun 2020. Maklumat menunjukkan 3% setahun. So penjakan jarak tahun dari 1990 ke 2020 sebanyak 30 tahun. So kita kalikan 3 kali dengan 30 tahun. Jarak antara 1990 dengan 2020. Lepas tu kita jadikan dapat 90. So jadikan 90 per 100 kali dengan population 1990 iaitu 9100. Lepas tu tambah pula 9100. Dapatlah 17,290. Pengiraan untuk water demand tahun 2020, kita menggunakan formula PN darab Q darab F1 darab F2 tambah dengan ID tambah DM. First kita masukkan total PN iaitu total population pada tahun 2020 lah, iaitu 17,290 darab dengan Q yang telah diberikan 200 liter per orang per hari, iaitu 200 lah. Darab dengan F1 juga diberi 0.98 dan F2 juga diberi 2.5. Tambah dengan 2,500 tambah dengan 0.12 dan ambil balik formula tadi, buat macam tadi, 17,290 darab 200 darab 0.98 darab 2.5 tambah dengan 25,000. So kita dapat untuk water demand tahun 2020 9,491,552 liter per hari. Itu jumlah water demand yang untuk tahun 2020. Itu saja daripada saya. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to my lecturer Encik Wan Ahmad Faizal bin Wan Abdullah. My name is Muhammad Akif Aiman bin Muhammad Hizi and my metric number is 01 DKA19 F1118. Today I will present about question final exam 2018 set 5. Question 3A. State 3 criteria of good water distribution system. Water quality should not get deteriorated in the distribution pipes. It should be capable of supplying water at all the attendance placed with sufficient pressure head. It should be capable of supplying the required amount of water during firefighting. Question 3B. The purpose of distribution system is to deliver water to consume with appropriate quality and pressure with aid of diagram. Briefly describe the type of water distribution system as follows. For the one Roman gravity system and 2 Roman pump system. For the answer, gravity system is suitable when source of supply is at sufficient heights. Most reliable and economical distribution system. The remaining heat is consumed in the frictional and other loose. The answer for pump system. Each treated water is discretely pumped into the distribution main without storing, also called pump without storage system. High lift pump are required. If power supply fails, complete stoppage of water supply. This method is not generally used. Question 3C. Loss of water due to leakage is a common phenomenon observed practically in all water distribution systems. However, the leakage volume can be reduced significantly if the occurrence of leak is detected within minimal time after its occurrence. Interpret the leak control method below. For the 1 Roman is gas tracer, 2 Roman passive control, 3 Roman pressure control, 4 Roman visual inspection. Okay, the answer for first Roman is this technique use a tracer gas such as a helium, hydrogen or sulfur hexafluoride. The gas is injected into the pipe, either empty or full. It's full, the pressure must reach 3 to 5 psi over the line pressure to ensure the presence of the tracer gas in the line. The advantage to tracer gas is the ability to detect small leaks before they become major problem. Okay, the answer for 2 Romans. Passive leak control only evident leaks either due to consumed plane or due to water appearing on the road surface are repaired. In active control, an organized and systematic program is undertaken in order to detect, locate and repair leaks. The answer for 3 Roman, pressure control method can be considered as a prevention measure. Excessive and unwarranted pressure in certain area are brought down in order to reduce both incidence rate of pipe failures and rate of water leaks. The answer for 4 Roman, identification of water leaks was visually inspected from the anomalies in the radiogram based on GPR reflection coefficients. The results have ascertained the capability of effectiveness of the GPR in detecting water leaks, which could help avoiding difficult with other leak detection method.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to my lecturer, Encik Wak Ahmad Faizal bin Wak Abdullah. My name is Muhammad Alif bin Adana and my metric number is 01 DKA3D 1119. Today I will present about the question 5 of December 2018. The answer for the A question is quantity and pressure of water supply is adequate for all use, including for fire prevention. The second is non-revenue water occurs at the minimum rate of 15%. The third one is cheap, durable and easily maintained. For the B question, the types of water distribution. First, the gravity system. Water is supplied from a higher place to a lower place. Treatment plant is located at a higher ground from user. This will make end user experience slow water from tap. The second one is the pump system, used for low pressure end user, located on lower ground than end user. Pressure and flow of water can be adjusted for demand. For the C question, interpret the leakage control methods below. The first is gas tracer. Gas tracer is a method to detect leakage. It is a portable gas sensor. It's used to detect non-toxic gas as it escapes through the leaks in pipe. The second one is the passive control. Leakage will be fixed based on report from concerned community. The third one is the pressure control. Used in the area that is have high pressure chances. Small reducing pressure will reduce leakage significantly. For the last one is visual inspection. Using clues to detect leak like wet soil surface, green grass when road isn't. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Jazlina binti Husri. First, a reservoir is storage space for fluids. List 5 types of reservoir construction materials. The answer is: first, reinforced concrete; second, pre-stressed concrete; third, galvanized pressed steel; fourth, glass reinforced plastic; fifth, steel fused with glass. Again, the purpose of distribution system is to deliver water to consumer with appropriate quality. Quantity and pressure. Describe water distribution using gravity system method. The answer is: when using water distribution using gravity system, Water needs to be supplied from a higher place to a lower place. A treatment plant also needs to be located at a higher ground from user. Friction in piping can cause energy loss, which eventually can cause static head that will make end user experience slow water from tap. But this type of water distribution also have disadvantages, which is static head will cause a drop in pressure. The pressure will decrease as the water passes through the front residential area pipe, causing the pipe at the end of the residential area will get a little water. This can cause anger to the people. Non-renewable water, NRW, refers water that has been produced and but got lost before it reaches the customer. Losses can be either real losses or apparent losses. List and explain the details 5 causes of NRW. The answer is first, pressure. Number 2 is soil condition. Third is traffic load. Fourth, material and work. 5, pipe lifespan. That's all, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shafi Masatahan. My material number is 1121 and I am from DKA3D. Okay, pilihan soalan saya set 2 sesi Jun 2017. Okay, soalan pertama saya, identify 2 factors that affect the population growth. Ini markah ada 5 markah ya. Okay, first sebabnya birth rate. It decreases the practice of family planning practiced by the population of the area. Better educate people who not like the number of well child. Government policy may alter birth rate. Point kedua, decrease rate, modern technical attention, low adult and infant mortality rate, epidemic, natural disaster and war. Okey, untuk soalan nombor 2, berdasarkan jadual A1, kirakan bilangan penduduk bagi bandar A bagi tahun 2030 dengan menggunakan kaedah peningkatan geometrik. Okay, kat sini kita ada bagi tahun 1950 28,000, 1960 36,000, 1970 39,000, 1980 41,000, 1990 44,000. Markah ada 10 markah. Okay, ni jalan dia. Ni untuk jalan kerja dia. Mula-mula kita kena pecahkan kepada 4 ni. Ia population increase dengan population increase persen dia. Jadi mula-mula daripada 1950 tu 28,000 tolak dengan 36 dapat 8,000. Lepas tu bahagi dengan jumlah akhir tahun dia 1960 tu. 8,000 bahagi dengan 36,000 darab dengan 100% dapat 22.2%. Lepas tu sama juga dengan 1970. Tolak 1970 tolak 1960 dapat 3,000 bahagi dengan last jumlah dia 3,000 bahagi dengan 39,000 darab 100 dapat 7.7% Okey, sama as 1980 dengan 1990 sama macam tu. Okay, lepas tu kita akan cari dedicate average. Jadi kena bahagi dengan 4 sebab kita ambil daripada 4 atas tu. Dia population increase tu ada 4. Jadi bahagi dengan 4 dapat 4,000. Lepas tu nak cari untuk tahun 2000. Jumlah daripada last tahun yang dia bagi 1990 tu tambah dengan persen population iaitu dengan 10.4% darab dengan 44,000 dapatlah 48,570. Lepas tu ambil jumlah tadi tu sama juga 10.4% darab dengan 48 dapatlah juga 53,627. Ulang benda sama kat 2020 dengan 2030. Last sekali kita akan ada jawapan 65,361. Okay, ini untuk adalah soalan nombor 3, soalan last untuk sesi 2017. Okay, dengan menggunakan jawapan A1B, anggarkan penggunaan air seorang sehari pada tahun 2030 sekiranya penggunaan air domestik 14.14 darab dengan 10.606 per hari. Faktor reka bentuk dia 1.1, faktor perkhidmatan 0.93. Itu untuk soalan C1. Untuk soalan C2, kirakan permintaan tambahan berikut. Penggunaan industri 1/3 dari permintaan penduduk. Peratus NRW iaitu 15%. Ini adalah untuk 10 mark. Okay, untuk jawapan A1, WD kita dapat last tahun dia 2030. Jadi 65,360 darab dengan 0.93 darab dengan 1.1 dapat total dia 66,864 liter. Itu untuk soalan nombor B, iaitu peningkatan tadi tu 65,361 darab 0.3 darab dengan 1.1. Lepas tu kurungan dengan 1/3 kurungan 65,361 darab dengan 0.93 darab dengan 1.1 kurungan tambah 0.15 kurungan lagi berikan 65,301 darab dengan 0.93 dan dengan 1. Lepas tu ulang balik 1.3, ulang balik dengan atas tu 65,361 darab dengan 0.93 darab dengan 1.1. Lepas tu jumlah yang tadi kita dapatlah 66,864 tambah 22,284 tambah 13,372. Jadi jumlah peningkatan yang tadi tu totalnya 102,524 liter per hari. Itu saja daripada saya. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Shariza binti Hairuddin. Question. Briefly explain three purposes of wastewater treatment. Wastewater treatment, it is to avoid contamination because organic content in wastewater are very high. Second, it is to manage wastewater effectively. Wastewater must be properly collected via sewerage system. And the last, it is to control infection disease. If not treated before discharge, it can risk human with pathogenic microorganisms. Second, biological sewage treatment is an important and integral part of any wastewater treatment plants that treats wastewater from either municipality or industry. Identify 5 differences of the following process of biological sewage treatment for oxidation ponds and activated sludge. For oxidation ponds, first, the process involves 2 major steps in the decomposition of organic loads in wastewater. Second, bacteria require oxygen to live. Third, bacteria use the formation of carbon dioxide and the inorganic forms of nitrogen and phosphorus for the activated sludge. First, the process just one step in the decomposition of organic loads in wastewater. Second, microbes require air to live. Third, microbes in this aeration tank use the dissolved and particulate organic load as food. Last question, sewage treatment refers to the process of removing contaminants, microorganisms, and other types of pollutant from wastewater. Illustrate and explain the process involved in wastewater treatment from the hospitals. So there are 3 treatment processes, from hospital to pre-treatment, then primary treatment, and lastly, secondary treatment. As a first stage, pre-treatment process is essential in most of the sewage treatment plants. It removes items such as sticks, rakes, and other large debris through bar screens. Next, primary treatment. Physical separation of solids and grease from wastewater is done in this stage. Now, water flows into primary filter or clarifiers for a few hours to allow solid particles to settle down. Partly treated wastewater is now subjected to the next treatment level. Lastly, secondary treatment. The main objective is to remove materials that demand oxygen. Here, microbes in this aeration tank use the dissolved and particulate organic load as food, producing more microbes. Thus, the waste materials that left the primary clarifier are changed into microorganisms,
which can be collected and separated from the water in the next step. At a sludge process, it is to concentrate and stabilizing sludge before it can be disposed. Sludge process to reduce vector attraction such as flies, mosquitoes, fleas, and rodents. Then, reduce potential from other problems such as smelly and bad taste that come from inorganic material and other organisms. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Suwan Adila Fatihah binti Zulkifli. For the question 1, a physical examination of sewage is carried out in order to determine its physical characteristics. Describe briefly the characteristics of odor and color. The characteristics of odor is odors range from musty smells to hazardous gases. Most of the other producing compounds in domestic wastewater result from anaerobic biological decomposition of organic materials. Next is characteristics of color. The color of the water is an indication that it contains contaminants of different materials and in varying concentrations. The other type of effluents in water that impart color to it are organic in nature. This can be peat materials, different type of weeds and humus. For the question B, explain the functions of the units in a primary treatment system with an aid of a schematic flow diagram. The answer is primary treatment removes material that will either float or readily settle out by gravity. The main objective is to remove solid that cause damaged plant components, and normally only physical process involved. It includes the physical processes of screening, comminution, grit removal, and sedimentation. In this slide shows the schematic flow diagram. Last question is interpret the operation principles of a sewage oscillation pond. Oscillation ponds, also called lagoons or stabilization ponds, are large, shallow basins of control shape, which is designed for small communities of industrial plants. The process involves two major steps in the decomposition of organic sludge in wastewater. The carbonaceous sludge is first oxidized by the aerobic microorganism with the formation of carbon dioxide and the inorganic forms of nitrogen and phosphorus. These inorganic forms are then used by algae in their photosynthesis reaction.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Salihan bin Abdul Rahman. My metric number is 1125. Today I want to present a question. Is section 1, question 2. Okay, first, state 5 criteria for pipe selection for service system. First is availability of complete range of component. Second is achieving the specific design life. Third is specific design life, and 4 is the design life generally, and last is specific level of maintenance. Okay, next question. Question B is interpret how the correction is a pipe across. The correction is a pipe across because bacteria in the slime under flowing sewage convert salvage in the sewage into subhydrate in the liquid, make their way to the surface of the sewage and release into the sewage atmosphere and hydrogen sulfide H2S and H2S gas. H2S gas is in atmosphere make contact with slime in the crown of the sewage, which contain more bacteria. Bacteria action convert H2 gas to sulfuric acid, which because corrosion in the crown of the pipe, and this corrosion is also called crown corrosion if pipe material is of corrodible natural sulfuric acid attack the pipe material
and causes ultimate failure. Okay, next soalan C. Calculate the flow rate using the following main formula. Okay. First sekali kita ada 2M. D sama dengan 2M. Lepas tu kita ada elevation dia 1000M. Lepas tu kita ada N sama dengan 0.013. Okay, formula meaning dia V sama dengan 1 per N darab M203 darab punca kuasa I. Okay, V masukkan nilai V 1. Lepas tu N dia dah bagi tadi 0.013. Masukkan nilai. Lepas tu darab dengan M kita kena cari M dia formula dia formula M pi D kuasa 2 per 4 darab pi D bahagi pi D. Okey, lepas tu darab pula dengan apa, punca kuasa I darab 1000 punca kuasa 1000 sebab I tu 1000 elevation. Okey, lepas tu next kira semua dapatlah 0.013 darab 3.14 bahagi 6.28 kuasa 2 per 3 darab 0.0316. Okay, next kira balik. Lepas tu dapat V sama dengan 0.013 darab 0.63 darab 0.0316. Lepas tu kira darab semua 3 dapatlah V sama dengan 1.5314 ms meter persegi. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and my name is Jun2020. My metric number 01 DKA3D. So I want to present about my question. Section B, question 2. Okay, A. Three classification of water demand is domestic water demand, commercial water demand and industrial. Okay, for question B, first we must find percentage increase in population. To get the percentage, we must minus population in year 1952 minus population in year 1942. So we can get 79,300. Then we must divide by 8,014 to 200. The answer will times to 100 and we can get 9.4%. The other years also like the year before. The total of percentage increase in population is 39.2. Average per decade is 6.53. After that, we must find expanded population. So I get in year 2012, I get 1,304,992, and then last answer is in year 2022, I get 1,319,000 and 2007. 4 factors to estimate water supply is limit, water quality, pressure and system maintenance. Last question, we must find water demand for year 2020 by using formula Pn times Q times F1 times F2 plus NRW plus Dn. So the final answer, we will get 36,549,333.33.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my lecturer Encik Wan. My name is Kashfar Rahmi binti Muhammad Idris. My metric number 01DKA19F1127. So today I would like to answer the question B, number 4. First question. State 3 criteria of good water distribution system. First, gravity system, pumping system, and combination of gravity and pump system. Next, question 2. The purpose of distribution system is to deliver water to consumer with appropriate quality and pressure. With the aid of a diagram, briefly describe the type of water distribution system as follows. First, gravity system, and second, pump system. This is for gravity system. Water is supplied from a higher place to a lower place. Next, treatment plant is located at a higher ground from user. Next, friction in piping can cause energy loss, which eventually can cause static head. This will make end user experience low water from tap. The advantage, there is 3 advantages. First, reliable. Next, low operation cost and suitable for community at the lower ground. Next, disadvantage. First, static head will cause a drop in pressure and cause end user angry. Next, pump operate at different speed according to the rate of flow, causing the pump can damage quickly. Loss of water to leakage is a common phenomenon observed practically in all water distribution systems. However, the leakage volume can be reduced significantly if the occurrence of leakage is detected within minimal time after its occurrence. Interpret the leakage control methods below. First, gas tracer, passive control, pressure control, and visual control. First, tracer gas. A portable gas sensor is used to detect non-toxic gas as it escapes through leak in pipe and rises through the surrounding soil to the ground surface. Next, passive control. Leakage will be fixed based on report from concerned community. Fixing based on complaint or reports, sometimes considering the new piping in old area. Third, pressure control. Used in the area that have high pressure change. Small reducing pressure will reduce leakage significantly, but most of the old piping material like metal pressure reducing could become a problem due to the internal pipe crusting. Fourth, using clues to detect leak like wet soil surface, green grass when drought season. There is a clean water flow into drain, detect using chlorine test. That's only from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Malim Metim Mustafa. My metric number is 1128. I will present set 2 June 2017. The first question of this set is list 5 component parts of deep manhole. The first part of deep manhole is landing slab. The second is hinge grating. The third one is benching. Fourth, 2 hole, and the last one is reducing slab. I also include the picture of deep manholes. The second question is sketch and explain how corrosion in sewer pipe. As you can see, the sketch of the how corrosion occur in sewer pipe. The explanation is Bacillus bacteria in the sewage convert sulfate in the sewage into sulfite. Sulfite in the liquid make the way to the surface of the sewage and release into the sewer atmosphere hydrogen sulfide gas. Bacterial action converts H2S gas to sulfuric acid, which cause corrosion at the top of the pipe. The second question is the calculus question. The question is a residential scheme in place has 3 lines of terrace house comprising 45 housing units. By using the many formula to determine the flow velocity, determine the diameter of the sewer pipe required. Assume full pipe velocity. Data given water demand per capita 250 liter per people per day. Household 5 person per unit. flow rate factor is 6. Roundness coefficient is 0.013, and silver pipe slope is 200. The answer is, first we have to solve the equation 1, that is we have to find Q, and then we have to find the diameter, and the last one is we have to find the velocity of this pipe. Thank you.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Saya Muhammad Faizal Faiz bin Najis. Kad matrik saya 1129. Saya akan jawab soalan set Disember 2016, Section A, soalan nombor 1. Okey, untuk soalan 1A, dia nak 5 klarifikasi. Klarifikasi yang pertama ialah industrial water demand, yang kedua institutional and commercial water demand, yang ketiga demand for public, yang keempat fire demand, dan yang akhir sekali waste and depth. Untuk soalan B, dia nak 5 faktor yang mempengaruhi penggunaan air. Yang pertama ialah size of the city, kebesaran bandar tersebut lah. Lepas tu yang kedua, climate condition, more in water and less in summer. Yang ketiga, cost of water. Yang keempat distribution system, dan yang akhir sekali supply system. Okey, untuk soalan C ni dia suruh kira penggunaan air pada tahun 2020. So dia ada bagi nombor rumah dekat satu kawasan tu ada 1,300 rumah, dan satu rumah tu ada average dia 7 orang. So 1,300 tu kita darab dengan 7, kita dapat 9,100. Lepas tu satu tahun tu dia punya peratus population pembesaran dia, pertumbuhan dia ialah 3% per setahun. So satu tahun tu 3%. Kalau dari 1990 tu kita ke 2020 tu dalam 30 tahun. So 3% tu kita darab dengan 30 tahun, kita dapat 90%. So 2020 bersamaan 90%, kita darab dengan 9,100, kita dapat 8,190. Lepas tu nilai-nilai tersebut kita masukkan dalam formula. Formula dia ialah PN darab dengan Q darab dengan F1 darab dengan F2. Lepas tu tambah ID tambah DM. Lepas tu kita masukkan dia punya nilai dia. Nilai dia ialah 8,190 darab 200. Lepas tu darab dengan 0.98 darab dengan 2.5. Lepas tu tambah 25,000 tambah 0.12 darab dengan 8,190 darab 200 darab 0.98 darab dengan 2.5. Lepas tu kita tambah lagi dengan 25,000. Lepas tu dapatlah jumlah dia 4,594,672 liter per hari.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Haji Karya Alzara binti Hada. My matric number is 01 DKA3D Today I will present about Set 4, Sesi Jun 2018. I will present about Set A, Question A, which is first, water demand is equivalent to the water used for some beneficial purpose. List 5 categories of water usage. Answer of A, which is 1. Domestic, 2. Business and commercial, 3. Industrial, 4. Agriculture and livestock, 5. Public, 6. Non-revenue water and RW. I'll present question B, which is the following data in table A1A is obtained from the Kansas Department, which tabulate the population data of Batu Pahat town by using the incremental increase method, calculate the probable population in the year 2040. Next, the answer of B, using the incremental increase method, we can see the calculation and the last answer for the population, which is 153,589. For the
2040. But not least, I'll present about the question of C, which is Matan district population in 2050 is estimated to be 356,000 people. Calculate the water demand during the year in which the water coverage is 90%, take design factor is 1.0, and non-revenue water as 21%, use capita consumption as 2 to 5 liter per capita per day, assume there is no industrial water requirement. Next, I'll present the answer of C using the formula Pun equal Q equal F1 equal F2 plus NRW. We can see the answer of WD 2050, which is 87,228,900 liter per day.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Muhammad Fahim Besak. My matric number 01 DKA 19F1131. Today I will talk about final question June 2019 session A. Question 2. Interpret verify 5 purpose of wastewater treatment. Answer. First, fisheries. Second, wildlife habitats. Third, reaction and quality of life. Health concern. 5, to survive for the future generation. Okay, question B. Biological sewage treatment is an important part of any wastewater treatment plant that treat wastewater from either municipality or industry. Identify 5 different of the following processes of biological sewage treatment between oxidation pond and activated sluice. Oxidation pond, also called lagoon or stabilization pond, are large shallow pond designed to treat wastewater through the interaction of sunlight, bacteria and algae. Second, mechanical aggregator are sometimes installed to supply yet more oxygen, thereby reducing the required size of pond. Sludge deposit in the pond must eventually be removed by dredging. 4. Algae grow using energy from the sun and carbon dioxide and inorganic compound released by bacteria in water. 5. Algae remaining in the pond effluent can be removed by filtration or by a combination of chemical treatment and settling. Okay, activated sluice. First, the activated sluice treatment system consists of an aeration tank followed by a secondary clarifier. Second, compressed air is then injected into the mixture through porous diffuse located at the bottom of the tank. Third, air can also be added by the churning action of mechanical properly light mixer located at the tank surface. Fourth, about 6 hours of detention is provided in the aeration tank. 5, the mixture then flow from the aeration tank into the secondary clarifier where activated sludge settles out by gravity. We go to the question C. Private sewage disposal system is one of the requirement in sewerage management under Suruhanjaya Pengurusan Air Negara, they call SPAN. As a technician, recommended a suitable sewerage system from a small capacity residential rural area. answer. As a technician, I recommended a suitable sewerage system for a small capacity residential rural area. Vacuum sewers. Vacuum sewer relay on suction create at the central pumping station and maintained in the small diameter meant to draw and transport wastewater to the system to final treatment. But because they have limited capabilities for transporting wastewater uphill, a maximum of about 20 feet, they are better suited for areas with flat or gently rolling terrain. Since the vacuum in the sewer is drawn by vacuum pumps at the central pumping station, the component needed at the individual connection are relatively simple. Most vacuum systems do not require vacuum toilet or any special plumbing inside the house. When the wastewater in a small holding tank at the home reach a certain level, a sensor opens a pneumatic valve and the tank contents are sucked into the line by the vacuum in the sewer main. The valve stays open a few seconds to also allow some air to be sucked out in after the wastewater. However, many small communities do not have a wastewater treatment plant nearby, or it may be too small to handle the extra wastewater flow. Okay, thank you.
Okay, hi and Assalamualaikum to Encik Wan Ahmad Faisal bin Wan Abdullah. Okay, my name is Muhammad Zulkifli bin Mat Rajab. My registration number is 01DKA19F1132. Today I will presenting about final exam question 2016 section B, question 1. Okay, let's begin. Okay, the first one is identify 5 sources of water supply. Okay, number 1 is river, second is pool, third is lake, fourth is reservoir, and fifth is well. Okay, B. Describe in detail 5 physical characteristics of water. Okay, the first one is odors. Odors range from musty smells of hazardous gases. Most of the odor-producing compounds in domestic wastewater result from the anaerobic biological decomposition of organic materials. Second, colors. The color of the water is an indication that it contains contaminants of different material and in varying concentrations. Some of these materials are chemical in nature. These are mostly industrial effluents discharged from factories. Third one is temperature. High temperature allow the existence of bacterial activity and can affect water use. Temperature will give impact on chemical reaction, aquatic life, and water for domestic use. Okay, number 4. Turbidity. Turbidity is a measure of the cloudiness of water. The cloudier the water, the greater the turbidity. Okay, fifth is turbidity con. Is closely related to total suspended solids TSS, but also includes plankton and other organisms. Okay, C. By referring to figure B1, interpret 5 impacts of deterioration of water resource affecting human life. Okay, first, causing the daily routine of life to be affected by this because humans need clean water to live. Second, making it difficult for human to get a source of clean water because human need clean water to drink, bath and cook. Third, dirty water can affect human health because there are various diseases from bacteria. Fourth, unemployment occurs because people who work fishing in the river cannot do their work. Okay, fifth, irresponsible seller who catch fish in dirty water and sell it to people can cause a lot of illness and death to the elderly. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang kepada Encik Cik Nur Azman bin Cik Wan. Hari ini saya ingin membentangkan tentang soalan set 3 nombor 4 sesi Disember 2017. Okay. Subjek water supply. Sebelum saya ingin meneruskan saya punya presentation, izinkan saya untuk memperkenalkan diri saya dahulu. Okay. Nama saya Taufik Dayat bin Muang. Nama matrik saya 01 DKA19F1133. Saya daripada kelas DKA3D. Okay. Soalan yang saya ingin terangkan ialah soalan question 2, iaitu soalan A, kenal pasti 3 jenis tangki pengenapan. Okey. 3 jenis tangki pengenapan yang saya jumpa adalah tangki alir ufuk ataupun horizontal flow tank. Okey, nombor 2, tangki alir tegak, iaitu nama lain vertical flow tank, dan last sekali ialah spiral flow tanks. Okey, soalan yang kedua iaitu bincangkan masalah yang disebabkan oleh kedua-duanya logam ini dalam bekalan air. Logam yang dimaksudkan ialah besi ataupun mangan. Okey. Besi atau mangan masuk ke dalam air oleh kerana reaksi biologis pada kondisi reduksi atau anaerobik tanpa oksigen. Jika air yang mengandung besi atau mangan dibiarkan terkena udara atau oksigen, maka reaksi oksidasi besi atau mangan akan timbul dengan lambat membentuk endapan atau gumpalan koloid dari oksidasi besar atau oksidasi mangan, oksidasi besi atau oksidasi mangan yang tidak diharapkan. Okey. Endapan koloid ini akan menempel atau tertinggal dalam sistem perpaipan, menyebabkan noda pada cucian pakaian, serta dapat menyebabkan masalah pada sistem pipa distribusi disebabkan kerana dapat menyokong tubuhnya mikroorganism seperti cyanotrid dan clonotrid yang dapat menyumbat perpaipan konsentrasi rendah besi dan mangan dapat mangan yang diperoleh yakni masing-masing 0.3 mg dan 0.05 mg. Okey. Mangan yang terdapat di dalam air bekalan mengotorkan paip-paip pemasangan dan pakaian pada tahap melebihi 0.1 mg. Pada kepekatan yang lebih tinggi, ia menyebabkan rasa yang tidak diingini dalam minuman. Mangan selalunya akan membentuk salutan pada paip walaupun kepekatan 0.05 mg ataupun liter, dan salutan ini mungkin akan luruh sebagai mendakan hitam. Okay, nilai garis panduan 0.2 miligram ataupun liter adalah didasarkan ke atas sifatnya yang boleh mengotorkan. Okay. Soalan yang terakhir iaitu soalan yang berdasarkan graf, iaitu graf proses penghasilan baki klorin bebas. Okay. Apa yang saya boleh tafsirkan ialah apabila bilangan klorin makin banyak, maka bertambahlah residual dia. Okey. Yang kedua, klorin tidak bertindak balas sekiranya ianya tidak berada di dalam air. Okey, yang ketiga, apabila air masih di tahap minimum, ianya boleh bertahan. Maka klorin yang ada dalam air itu masih banyak tetapi tidak bertambah. Okey, yang keempat, apabila air sampai ke nilai maksimum boleh bertahan, maka klorin makin banyak. Okey, yang kelima, penggunaan baki klorin boleh digunakan untuk membasmi kuman di dalam air untuk memastikan air minuman kita dalam keadaan selamat. Okey. Yang keenam, klorin merupakan ejen disinfeksi yang kuat. Ia boleh bertindak balas dengan komponen-komponen kimia seperti mangan, ferrum, hidrogen, sulfida, amonia dan fenol dalam air. Okey, yang ketujuh, klorin bebas ini seterusnya akan mengurai kepada asid hypochlorous dan ion hypochlorite yang penting dalam proses disinfeksi untuk membunuh patogen dan bahan pencemar dalam air. Okey, yang terakhir iaitu kepekatan sebatian-sebatian cyanida, sulfida, fenol, fosforus, nitrit, mangan dan ferrum juga menurun selepas proses pengklorinan. Okey. Itu saja daripada saya. Terima kasih kepada Encik Wan dan saya harap presentation saya ini membantu Encik Wan dan dapat membuktikan bahawa saya boleh menjawab soalan ini dengan baik. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Muhammad Firdaus bin Saleh. My metric number 01 DKA 19F1134. Today I want to present about final exam question. Okay, the number one of example question, state 3-point function of storage tank. Okay, firstly, pre-stressed concrete. Second, ground or illerate. Third, reinforced concrete. Okay, the example question number 2, date and system. Okay, the meaning date and system. Date and system, the name itself defining that it contains dead ends in the pipe system, so the water does not flow continuously in the dead end system. In this system, the whole pipe network is divided into several sub-networks, those namely main line, sub-mains, branch lines and service connection. Okay, next about meaning system grid. Okay, grid iron system also contains main lines, sub-main and branch line, but in this system dead ends are eliminated by interconnecting all the lines. Hence, the meter flow continuously in this system without stagnating So this system is also called as interlace system or reticulation system. Next, the question about list 4 types of valve. Okay, firstly ball valve, second butterfly valve, third choke valve, and then gate valve. Okay, the last question about example final exam question. Okay, advantage and disadvantage pump system and gravity system. Okay, pump system advantage ability to supply water to higher ground areas. Second, lower running cost. Okay, disadvantage water supply interrupted when there is interruption in the electricity supply. And then second, high pressure during low demand period at night and cause damage. Okay, and then about gravity system advantage, no energy cost, and then simple operation. Disadvantage, gravity system is less flexible for future extension. And then second, longer pipelines necessary. Longer pipeline are necessary.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Arif Faisal bin Muhammad Amin. My registration number is 01 DKA19F1135. Ini adalah contoh soalan yang saya dapat peperiksaan akhir pada sesi Jun 2018, dan saya dapat di soalan section A, soalan 2. Ini adalah soalan pertama saya, soalan 2A sesi Jun 2018. Soalan dia berbunyi, the entire system of appurtenances for collecting sewage and delivering into a disposal point is called sewerage system. Identify 5 differences of the following sewerage system. First, combined system, and second, separate system. Perbezaan dia lah separate system. First, the quantity of sewage to be treated is less because no treatment of storm water is done. Combined system, as the treatment of both are done, the treatment is costly. Nombor 2, in the city of more rainfall, the system is more suitable. And combined system, in the cities of less rainfall, the system is suitable. Yang ketiga, spread system, as two sets of sewer line are to lay this system is cheaper because sewage is carried in underground sewer and stopped. Manakala combined system, overall construction cost is higher than spread system. Number 4, in narrow streets, it is difficult to use this system. Combined system, it is more suitable in narrow streets. And last kali, spread system, less degree of sedimentation is achieved in this system as storm water is disposed without any treatment. Manakala combined system, high degree of sedimentation is achieved in this system. Soalan 2B berbunyi, water flows at half proportional depth in nominal bore drain pipe with diameter 350 mm by using the velocity of flow 1.45 ms and coefficient of pipe roughness 0.010. Calculate the minimum gradient and the flow rate. The Chiesi coefficient can be calculated using many formula. Formula diberi V sama dengan C punca kuasa M darab I dan C sama dengan M kuasa 1/6 per N. Jawapan yang saya dapat mula-mula dengan isi formula V sama dengan C punca kuasa M darab I dengan C sama dengan M kuasa 1/6 per N. Mula-mula M kuasa 1/6 sama dengan pi darab dengan 0.35 kuasa 2 per 4 per dengan pi darab dengan 0.35. Ikut formula saya dapat 0.0962 per 1.0996 kuasa 1/6. Lepas tu M kuasa 1/6 sama dengan 0.0874 kuasa 1/6 sama dengan 0.666. C sama dengan 0.666 per 0.110 sama dengan 66.6. Formula kedua, V sama dengan C punca kuasa M darab I. Saya dapat 1.45 sama dengan masukkan balik 66.6 punca kuasa 0.0874 darab dengan I kita tak tahu. Lepas tu 66.6 bawa ke sebelah kiri sama dengan 1.45 per 6.66 sama dengan punca kuasa 0.0874 darab dengan I. Lepas tu 0.0218 kuasa 2 sama dengan 0.874 I. Itu saya dah kalkulate semua. Lepas tu 0.0874 bawa sebelah kiri menjadi 4.7524 darab 10 kuasa negatif 4 per dengan 0.874 sama dengan I. I saya dapat 5.4374 darab 10 kuasa 3. Soalan yang terakhir, soalan C berbunyi a housing scheme consists of 60 house. Calculate the sewer pipe diameter need for that residential area with assumption that the pipe flow is full. Dia bagi maklumat, the data given as follow. Water demand per capita Q sama dengan 275 liter per capita or day. Yang kedua, household 5 person or unit per unit, flow rate 5, manning coefficient N for pipe sewer 0.013, sewer pipe gradient 1/200, self cleansing velocity lebih besar daripada 0.45 ms. Jawapan yang saya dapat, first masuk tulis formula V sama dengan 1 per N darab M kuasa 2/3 darab dengan I kuasa 1/2. Lepas tu masukkan semua maklumat di dalam formula menjadi 1 per 0.013 darab dengan, lepas tu buka kurungan pi darab 1.0 kuasa 2 per 4 per dengan pi darab dengan 1.0 tutup kurungan kuasa 2/3 darab dengan 1/200 kuasa 1/2. Semua tu kena buat dalam satu kurungan. Lepas tu calculate menjadi 1/0.013 darab dengan 0.785 per 3.142 kuasa 2/3 darab dengan 1/200 kuasa 1/2. Kira 1/1 menjadi menjadi 76.923 darab dengan 0.020 darab dengan 2.5 darab 10 kuasa negatif 3. Jawapan saya dapat ialah 3.846 darab dengan 10 kuasa negatif 3. Itu saja daripada saya. Sekian, terima kasih.
Hello, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Encik Wan, the lecturer of Water Supply and Wastewater Engineering. My name is Muhammad Amirul Ashraf Berosli. My registration number is 01 DKA 99F 1136. Today I want to present about my Set 3, Sesi December 2017, question 3. Okay, the first question is, in Malaysia, the main source of water supply is surface water. State 3 source from surface water. So, the 3 source from surface water is river, lakes, stream, and sea. So we go to the next slide, to the question 2. The question 2 is, explain clearly the parameter of water characteristic state in the following. The first one is turbidity, kekeruhan. Turbidity indicate the fine colloidal particles that are considered dangerous and they may be bacterial or viral. Pure water is clear and does not absorb light. If turbidity appears in the water, it may indicate water pollution. Turbidity is measure of the light transmitting properties of water and is comprised of suspended and colloidal material, important for health and aesthetic reason. And the second is pH. pH is really a measure of relative amount of free hydrogen and hydrogen ion in the water, affecting chemical process like chloration. Third, affecting biological life like effectiveness of bacteria. Fourth, pH of water is measured between 0 to 14 to determine how acid or alkaline is a measurement conducted using a logarithm scale. pH value of water is important in the indicators to evaluate water quality, as well as comprehensive reflection of hydrochemical characteristics. So, the next question is question 3. By referring to the statement above, identify 3 contaminants that were removed from the drinking water. The first one is point sources. The source of pollen is emitted directly in waterways can be detected. It is discrete and relatively easy for treatment. For example, the discharge of sewage, effluent, and toxic waste into the water from residential, industrial, and land animals. And the second one is non-point sources. The source of pollen are scattered or diffuse, thus making it cannot be determined. For example, pollution resulting from the opening of new cities, agriculture, logging, construction, and road building. Okay, for the common source of pollen are surface runoff, the transfer process of pollen caused by rain. Pollutants are carried from the natural state, decaying plants, from farming activity, especially fertilizer which contain phosphate, and livestock feeds. So that's all for me. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aida Izzati binti Yusuf. My metric number is 1137. Today, I would like to present about the question given. The first question is to identify 5 differences between combined system and separated system. For separated system, there are 2 types of pipe, which is sanitary and runoff sewer. It is located in housing and urban area. No treatment for runoff. Size of sewer required is minimum, and much pipes will cause cost increment. For combined system, the sewage and stormwater are discharged into the same sewer. Less piping is needed, thus saving cost. Easy to install, using big sewer normally, and thick wastewater when drought and thin wastewater when rainy become a problem for treatment plant. Second question. Water flows at half proportional depth in nominal bore drain pipe with 350 mm diameter. By using the velocity of flow 1.45 meter per second and coefficient of pipe roughness 0.010, calculate the minimum gradient and the flow rate. The Chesney coefficient can be calculated using Manning's formula. The first step is to write down all the info given from the question. Next, calculate the Chesney coefficient by using the formula C is equal to m to the power of 1 over 6 divided by n. But first, let's start by calculating the value of m using the formula m is equal to pi times diameter to the power of 2 over 4 divided by pi times diameter. And the value of m is 0.0875. Then, find the value of C using the formula stated, and the value of C is 66.63. After that, find the value of I, which is the minimum gradient, by using the Manning formula. V is equal to C times the square root of m times I. To find the value of flow rate is by using the formula Q is equal to area times velocity, which Q is the flow rate value. To find the value of area is by using the formula A is equal to pi times diameter to the power of 2 divided by 4, and the answer for area would be 0.096 meters square. The last step to get the value of flow rate is by getting the product of area times velocity, which is 0.096 times by 1.45, and the answer for the flow rate would be 0.1392 meter cube per second. The third question. A housing scheme consists of 60 houses. Calculate the sewer pipe diameter needed for the residential area with the assumption that the pipe is full, and the data is as follows in the question. First, start by writing the data given in the question. Next, find the value of Q in the unit liter per second. The value of Q would be 4.774 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Then, find the value of area by using the formula A is equal to Q over velocity, and the value of area would be 4.774 times 10 to the power of negative 3. After that, to get the value of diameter, use another formula to get the value of area, which is A is equal to pi times diameter to the power of 2 divided by 4. Compare both area formula and complete the equation. The answer of diameter would be 0.078 meter.
Assalamualaikum to my course coordinator, Cik Wan Ahmad Faizal bin Wan Abdullah. Today I would like to present about case study Set 3 DCC 40152 December 2017. My name is Harisha bin Ordi. My number is 10 DKA 19F1138. So my part is Section B, question 3. First question is, list 3 sources of non-revenue water. First, pressure. Second, ground movement. And third, rusting in pipe from electrolysis. Second question is, explain the pipe network system below. First one is dead end system. Dead end system is easily solved. Less shut off valve, shorter pipe length, cheap and simple, and easily expanded. The second one is grid system. Grid system is less discharge, friction loss, and pipe size. No problem if a pipe is damaged. Good for firefighting, high cost of construction, more pipe length and shut off valve. And lastly, design is difficult and expensive. Last question is, interpret the following underground pipe leakage determination method. First method is visual inspection. Visual inspection is wet soil surface, green grass when drought season, and there is a clean water flow into drain detect using chlorine test. The second one is leak noise conductor. Leak noise conductor is more efficient or accurate in iron pipe, not plastic, measuring at two suspected point by vibration or sound. And lastly, vibrations are transmitted from sensor to the conductor. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Siti Khadijah binti Majeni. My metric number is 1139. Question number 1. A. Briefly explain three purposes of wastewater treatment. First, used to remove contaminants from wastewater or sewage and convert it into an effluent that can be returned to the water cycle with acceptable impact on the environment or used for various purposes called water reclamation. Second, to manage water discharge from home, business, and industry to reduce the threat of water pollution. And number 3, to produce solid water, solid waste, sludge, and discharge or reuse them back into the environment. Question number 2B. Biological sewage treatment is an important and integral part of any wastewater treatment plant that treats wastewater from either municipality or industry. Identify 5 differences of the following process of biological sewage treatment. First, oxidation pond. Second, activated sludge. For oxidation ponds, first, a shallow basin of contour shape which is designed for small communities or industrial plants. Second, the process involves 2 major steps in the decomposition of organic load in wastewater. Third, the carbonaceous load is first oxidized by the aerobic microorganism with the formation of carbon dioxide and the inorganic forms of nitrogen and phosphorus. Fourth, these inorganic forms are then used by algae in their photosynthetic reactions. And the last one is, as a result of the reaction in the ponds, the organics in wastewater are partly oxidized and partly converted to algae cells. For activated sludge, first, microbes require air to live and eat, thus air is pumped into the tank. Second, microbes in this aeration tank use the dissolved and particulate organic load as food, producing more microbes. Third, the process takes advantage of aerobic microorganisms that can digest organic matter in sewage and clump together by flocculation as they do so. Fourth, settling tank to allow the biological flux, the sludge blanket, to settle thus separating the biological sludge from the clear treated water. And the last one is, thus the water materials that left the primary clarifier are changed into microorganisms which can be collected and separated from the water in the next step. Question number 3. C. Sewage treatment refers to the process of removing contaminants, microorganisms, and other types of pollutants from wastewater. Illustrate and explain the process involved in wastewater treatment from the hospitals. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Nurdania Sharina binti Syarif. Question 1. State 5 importance of chlorine residual test for water supply. Firstly, to inactivate the bacteria and some viruses that cause diarrheal disease. To protect the water from recontamination during storage. To determine how much sodium hypochlorite solution to add to the water that will be used for drinking. To maintain free chlorine residual in the water. To kill microorganisms which cause typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, and other diarrheal disease. Lastly, it is important because if there is not enough chlorine in the water, the microorganism will not be killed. And if there is too much chlorine in the water, the user may not want to drink it because the taste of the chlorine and may be tempted to use other less safe water supplies. Question 2. Describe 5 significance of water treatment process. For the water purification, it is purifying water to become the drinking water. Allows humans to benefit from both drinking and irrigation use, to remove contaminants and undesirable components or reduce their concentration so that the water becomes fit for its desire and use. Saves the lives of many human beings and living things who die from the fatal disease such as cholera, typhoid, which caused by consuming contaminated water. Lastly, to killing the germ or bacteria in the wastewater, remove solid impurities and odor smell. Question 3. Illustrate 2 types of sedimentation basin in raw water treatment plant. So, there is a conventional horizontal floor settling basin and modern new water treatment plant.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hazim Akil bin Harun Nizam. My matrix number 1141. Okay, today I would like to discuss about Set 3 December 2015 question final exam and question 2 section A. Okay, for first question, draw and explain the use of inverted siphon in the sewerage system. Firstly, that is a picture about inverted siphon. Okay, I will explain the use of inverted siphon in the sewerage system. Firstly, it is the section of a sewer at a lower elevation than the adjacent sewer. Second, it is actually a depressed sewer or a sack pipe used to carry sewage below obstruction, ground dispersion, stream, river, railway lines, etc. Okay, third, this pipe flow full under the pressure greater than the atmospheric pressure. Fourth, inverted siphon. Inverted siphon include 2 or more pipe of more than 200 mm diameter running parallel. Lastly, minimum dry weather flow, maximum dry weather flow and maximum wet weather flow for the design period are required for the design of inverted siphon. Okay, I will explain the pipe in inverted siphon. Okay, first part carries dry weather minimum flow. Second part carries the difference of dry weather minimum flow and dry weather maximum flow. Third, carries the storm water flow. And lastly, large fluctuation in stormwater flows demand pipe. Okay, for next question. Explain the difference between separate system and combined system. Okay, now I will explain about separate system and combined system. I will explain the difference between separate system and combined system. For separate system, use two drain pipe to drain fish, wastewater and surface water into the sewer. Second, the diameter of the drainage pipe is smaller. Third, there is a risk of incorrect connection. Fourth, small sewage disposal, plant size, and lastly, sewage cleaning costs are low. Okay, for combined system, use ordinary drainage pipes to drain sewage, wastewater, and surface water into public sewer. Second, large drainage diameter. Third, there is no risk of disconnection. Fourth, large sewage disposal plant size. And lastly, the cost of sewage disposal is enormous. Okay, for the last question, a housing area comprising 16 units of house. Calculate the diameter of the sewer pipe required with the full pipe velocity assumption using the Manning formula. Data given are as follows. Water demand per capita 225 liter people per day. Household is 5% per unit. For flow rate, factor is 6. Roughness coefficient is 0.013. Lastly, sewer pipe slope is 1/215. Okay. Now I will explain the formula we will use in this question. Okay, we will use this formula. The formula is Manning formula 1. Manning formula. Okay. Manning formula have two, which is formula 1 and formula 2. For formula 1, Q equal AV equal AKN per N R power of 2/3 and S power of 1/2, where Q is volume flow, A for cross-sectional area of flow, V for cross-sectional average velocity, Kn for 1.486 for English unit, and Kn equally 1.0 for SI unit. For capital A, cross-sectional area of flow, N, Manning coefficient of roughness, R, hydraulic radius, and lastly, S is slope of pipe. Okay, for formula 2 is hydraulic radius can be expressed as R equal A per P, where A is cross-sectional area of flow, P for weighted perimeter, Q equally 1 per N meter power root of 2 and 11 per 2. Okay. I will explain the answer. Now I will speak Malay. Okay. Pertama sekali kita perlu cari nilai Q. Untuk cari nilai Q, kita perlu darabkan 60 darab dengan 5 darab dengan 5 darab dengan 225 liter per hari. Dan kita dapat 337,500. Okey. Lepas tu kita tukarkan dia kepada meter kuasa 3, dapat 337.5. Seterusnya kita perlu darabkan dengan hari, bilangan jam hari. So, kita dapat 3.90 kali 10 kuasa negatif 3. Selesai untuk Q. Seterusnya kita perlu mencari nilai M untuk iaitu Manning formula. Menggunakan Manning formula. Manning formula pi D kuasa 2 per 4 per pi D sama dengan D per 4. Okey. Kita juga menggunakan formula V sama dengan 1 per N. M kuasa 2 per 3 darab 1 kuasa 1 per 2 sama dengan Q per A. Okey, kita masukkan nilai 1. Untuk cari nilai V, kita perlu masukkan nilai 1 per 0.013 iaitu nilai roughness coefficient dan darab dengan diameter per 4 kuasa 2 per 3. Diameter itu tidak diberi, so kita perlu letak D dahulu. Darab dengan 1 per 200 sama dengan 3.90 darab 10 kuasa negatif 3. Kita ambil nilai Q tadi tu 3.90 darab 10 negatif 3 tu nilai Q. Per dengan pi D kuasa 2 per 4. So, bila kita kira nilai V, kita dapat, kita kira untuk cari nilai diameter dahulu, kita dapat 2.1586 D kuasa 2 per 3 sama dengan 4.97 darab dengan 10 kuasa negatif 3 per D kuasa 2. Untuk cari nilai D, kita perlu darab silangkan untuk mencari D. Macam D kuasa 2 tu perlu darab dengan kuasa 2 per 3 tu, so dapat D 8 per 3. Manakala 4.97 darab 10 kuasa negatif 3 itu perlu bahagi dengan 2.1586. So, dapatlah 2.30 darab 10 kuasa negatif 3. So, nilai D masih mempunyai kuasa 8 per 3. So, kita perlu selesaikan kuasa 8 per 3 itu. So, kita puncakan dia, dapatlah 0.102 meter. Untuk cari nilai V pula, kita perlu ambil nilai nilai Q tadi tu bahagi dengan formula pi D kuasa 2 per 4. So, dapatlah 0.48 ms lebih besar daripada atau 0.47. Okey, selesai. Itu saja daripada saya. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, today I want to present about my case study. That is answer for set June 2017 question 6. Okay, for question A, state 5 types of chemical characteristic of wastewater. First is pH. Second, dissolved oxygen. Third, hardness. Fourth, organic compound. And fifth, nutrient. Okay, next is question B. Initial stage in wastewater treatment process is preliminary treatment. Describe briefly the screening process and grief removal process in preliminary treatment for wastewater. Okay, first, for screening process has two types, coarse screening and fine screening. Coarse screening is to remove floating materials like wood, plastic, bottles, tree branch and trash. And then fine screening is to remove small floating materials like leaves and aquatic plants. Second, grief removal process using retention chamber to make water to flow slowly and settle the sand and grief. This process is to remove algae or the aquatic organism and small debris that can block treatment plant filter.
This process also have aeration process to add oxygen and eliminate bad odor and unpleasant taste by using four methods. That is spray aerator, gravity aerator, diffuser and mechanical aerator. Okay, last is question C. Illustrate how individual septic tank work. First, partially treat household wastewater before releasing it into nearby fields, which then complete to wastewater treatment cycle. Second, a properly functioning septic tank removes pollution from household water, such as bacteria and nitrogen, which can contaminate the local environment and spread disease. And last is receive all wastewater from the house, separate solids from the wastewater flow, cost reduction and decomposition of accumulated solid provide storage for the separated solids, and pass the clarified wastewater out to the drain field for final treatment and disposal. Okay, that's all for my presentation today. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera kepada Encik Wan. Nama saya Muhammad Jun2020 bin Muhammad Fazlan. Nombor kad matrik saya 1143. Hari ini saya akan membentangkan set 1 DCC 5152 Dizen 2016. Soalan final exam yang diberi oleh Encik Wan. Saya akan mula dengan bahagian B, soalan 3. Soalan pertama, state 5 main function of storage tank. First point, to provide treated water for emergency use like power shortage, pump malfunction, and firefighting. To act as a break pressure tank. Third point, to equalize flow rate because of the changing in demand rate and supply rate. Fourth point, maintain system pressure in specific range. Last, to store liquid such as oil, water, and petrol. Next question. Soalan kedua pula. Explain 5 factors that influence leakage or non-revenue water. First point, pressure. Explanation. For pressure, we have two type of pressure. First pressure surge. Main danger cause pipe to burst when the pipe stop or the valve close suddenly. Next pressure changes, minor or neglected. Second point, ground movement. The explanation, expansion and contraction of the soil will cause the metal or pipe fatigue. Third point, rusting in pipe for electrolysis. The explanation, process internal, high chlorine and acidic. Next, process external, different water characteristic. Last, iron and copper, volt potential difference. Fourth point, soil condition. The explanation, leakage water in the soil tend to appear on the soil surface because of capillary rise. Wet soil cause the plant look and green, indicating enough water even in drought season. Last point, traffic load. The explanation, vibration will cause tiny crack to the pipe if the bedding is not straightened and improper depth. Soalan ketiga, water distribution method is depending on the level of the source, topography of the area and other local condition. Illustrate with explanation the gravity system and pump system. As you can see below, this is a example of the gravity system that I draw with. This is explanation for the gravity system. The first point, water is supplied from a higher place to a lower place. Next, the treatment plant is located at a higher ground for user. Third point, friction in piping can cause energy loss, which eventually cause static head. Last, this will make end user experience slow water from the tap. Next is pump system. As you can see below, this is a pump system example that I drawing. Next, this is explanation for the pump system. First, use for low pressure and user. Next, located on lower ground than end user. Last, water is directly pumped to delivery pipe. That's all for me. Thank you for lending your ears to my presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I would like to give presentation about final exam question December 2017. Course name Water Supply Engineering. Our lecturer name is Wan Ahmad Faizal bin War Abdullah. My name is Muhammad Mirza Ikhwan bin Yunus. My metric number is 1144 from class DKA3D. This is our question paper. We have 3 questions, A, B, and C. First, we go to the A. The question is, state 3 purpose of wastewater treatment. Number 1, to kill organisms that can use disease and eliminate pollution and death. 2, eliminate unpleasant odors, tastes, and colors. 3, dissolves minerals, reduces corrosion. Now we go to the B. Explain briefly the basic process of trickling filter and rotating biological contactor (RBC) method. We go to the trickling filter first. Trickling filters provide aerobic treatment of wastewater. Wastewater is generally pumped from a recirculation tank or compartment dispersed over a media bed and allowed to drain back into the recirculation tank. The wastewater is aerated as it flows through the media bed, which may consist of a variety of media such as tire chips, stone, and rigid plastic, configured into a number of shapes. An example is honeycomb blocks, rings, or cylinders. A trickling filter uses filtration, adsorption, and assimilation for removal of contaminants from wastewater. Wastewater should flow in a thin film over the media to allow time for treatment. Next, we go to the rotating biological contactor. In the rotating biological contactor, wastewater is purified using microorganism membranes which are attached to discs. The discs slowly rotate with approximately 14% of surface area submerged in the wastewater. By absorbing oxygen from the air and pollutants from the wastewater, the pollutants are decomposed aerobically. While new microorganisms are continuously increased on the disk, all microorganisms whose activation has deadline drop off the disk. For the last question, C. Illustrate how Imhoff tank works. You can see diagram Imhoff tank, cross-section and plan. Now we go to the function. Was developed to correct the defects of the septic tank, the upper section for sedimentation compartment and the lower section for the digestion compartment. Contact between the waste flow and the anaerobic digesting sludge is eliminated. This prevents the solids once removed from the sewage from again being mixed with it, but still provides for the decomposition of these solids. Lastly, retention time in primary settling compartment is reduced. Thank you from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our lecturer, Encik Wan Ahmad Faizal.
Today I want to present about the answer at Set 5 DCC 5152 December 2018 final exam question. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Fahyakimi bin Muhammad Tamrin, matric number 01 DKA191145. The answer I will explain at section B, question 2. First question, state 3 important or chlorine residual test for water supply. And the answer, first, to ensure supplying water are adequately clear and fully chlorinated. Second, to ensure supply water are examined with time interval. Last, to locate and identify the possible contamination in plant and during distribution. Second question, site selection is important to be considered when designing water treatment plant. Explain five site criteria to be considered when designing water treatment plant. And the answer, first, water intake location and supply area. Distance for water intake from the plant and height from pump can supply direct at low cost and energy. Second, hydraulic consideration. Use sloping length to minimize energy cost. Next, key drain and groundwater level. Construction of treatment plant must be avoid rocky soil, stampy soil, and high groundwater level soil to avoid high construction costs. Then, land availability. Construction of treatment plant under location auditory for residential development area and another. Lastly, accessibility to plant. Get easy access to power and communication. It is closer to worker which social need and supply for equipment as well as factory need. Second question, draw water treatment process flow diagram from water intake until store tank and verify. Explain. First, the principle of coagulation. Second, filtration process. And the answer, first, the principle of coagulation. This for example the drawing flow diagram you can see at the slide. And the explanation, coagulation is the process of destabilization of the negative charge on suspense particle and colloid at optimum dose. The purpose of destabilization is to reduce repelling character of the parties and allow them to become attracted to another parties. Do that, they can be removed in following process. The particulates in raw are mainly clay, seed, virus, bacteria, fulvic and humic acid, mineral and organic particles. More coagulates are cations in water such as alum, ferrum, sulfate, lime and cations organic polymer. Next, filtration process. You can see the flow diagram filtration process at the slide. Explanation. Filtration is an important stage when treating water. Firstly, multi-method of pre-treatment are common. This could include flocculation, coagulation and sedimentation. Second, flowing pre-treatment. Various forms of water filtration can be used for fine screening. Drum filter and disc filter are common. They remove suspended solid from the water and polish effluent. from water waste treatment plant. Next, should media filtration be chosen, pressure gravitational filter can be used. This work by the media forming a barrier to the passages of suspended solid, absorbing some compound container in the liquid. Finally, members technologies can be used. This include ultrafiltration, microfiltration, and microfiltration, nanofiltration, and reverse osmosis. They will retain different size of particles and ion, which leads allowing pure water to flow through. It is also ways to use water filter catchers, acting as protect bearing their retained solid and particular upstream. That's all for us. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Isri bin Mustafa. My metric number is 1146. Today, I will present about the question that I gave from my lecturer, Encik Wan Ahmad Faizal. So, the question that I get is question number 2, question B. The question is, state 3 importances of chlorine residual test for water supply. The answer is to ensure disinfection occur completely. Second, easy to use because chlorine has high solubility rate. Third, chlorine can kill most of the microorganisms that present in water bodies. Question B is, site selection is important to be considered when designing water treatment plant. Explain 5 site criteria to be considered when designing water treatment plant. The answer number 1 is planning and environment constraint factor. To avoid creating new environmental problem by ensuring the consequences for the environment are properly taken into account in site selection, planning, and design of all new development. Then, to seize opportunities for environmental improvement as they arise in the course of urban redevelopment. Then, the second answer is plant design site factor. This course provides the fundamentals for the selection and design of the most appropriate, cost-effective, and sustainable wastewater or sanitation treatment system. It also provides the basic on technology selection and costing and engineering economic for the analysis, evaluation, and comparison of different treatment alternatives. The third answer is environmental factor. A water supply is the product of its environment. The gases carbon dioxide and oxygen enter the water from the atmosphere. The carbon dioxide can unite with water to form carbonic acid. In vegetated areas, oxygen in water is consumed and carbon dioxide increases through decay of vegetation. Last but not least, in limestone areas, the water containing carbonic acid react with limestone and become hard. Calcium and magnesium bicarbonate are formed. Then, land state and groundwater level. Sedated site or site with high level of Bumiputra air levels or sites having problematic soil should be avoided for the construction of the plant. This is it going to be a design cost initiative and additional construction? The last answer is power supply and telecommunication line. Plant sites should be selected to prevent power lines and telecommunication costs incur high costs. Question C is draw water treatment process flow diagram from water intake until storage tank and briefly explain first the principle of coagulation and filtration process. That we can see the water from lake insert to intake pipe and several process occur from preliminary treatment and last the water collect to the storage tank or storage tower. So the principle of coagulation. Coagulation remove dirt and other particles suspended in water. Alum and other chemicals are added to water to form tiny sticky particles called floc, which attract the dirt particle. The combined weight of the dirt and the alum become heavy enough to sink to the bottom during sedimentation. And then filtration process. Filtration is the most reliable water treatment process to remove particulate material suspended or colloidal impurities from water. Coagulation, flocculation, and sedimentation are used to assist the filtration process to function more effectively. Then, the water leaving the sedimentation tank still contains floc particles. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syafiq Hakimi bin Muhammad Fauzi. Okay, now let's go to question 1 is identify 3 important of chlorine residual test for water supply. First, a sufficient amount of chlorine was added initially to the water to inactive the bacteria and some virus that cause their releases. Second, the water is protected from recontamination during storage. And the third is remove and lower the concentration of contamination present in water. B. Describe 5 significant of water treatment process. First, cost screening to remove floating material like wood, plastic bottle, tree branch and trash. Second, aeration to add oxygen, elimination bad odor and unpleasant taste, and to display easy rusting and oxiding characteristics such as ferrum and mangan. Number 3 is chlorination to remove ferrum and mangan H2S and to reduce bad taste, odor and algae. Number 4 is sedimentation. Sedimentation is the process of separating the liquid solid used in water treatment. And the last is coagulation to reduce repelling character of the particles and allow them to become attached to other particles. Question 3 is list 4 chemical process in water treatment system. First, ferrum and mangan removal. Second, water softening. Third, disinfection. And the last is pH adjustment. Number 4 question is interpret coagulation and flocculation process in water treatment. Coagulation is the process of destabilization of negative charge on suspend particles and colloid at optimum dose. Second, the particles in raw water are mainly clay, silt, virus, bacteria, fulvic, and human acid, mineral, and organic particles. Flocculation is the agglomeration of destabilized particles and colloid to make settle and filtrable particles. Normally, flocculation involves a gentle stirring to enhance contact of destabilized particles and to build flock particles of optimal size, density, and strength. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Irfan bin Samsudin and my metric number 01 DKA 19F115. So today I would like to present about my question is set 1 question 4. Before that, I want to absolutely thank you for my water supply and wastewater engineering lecturer, Encik Wan Ahmad Faizal bin Abdullah. So let me start from first question is list 5 chemical used in water treatment process. So the first one is chlorine, nitrate, acid, sulfate, and alum. So we go to the next question is explains 2 factors that are need to consider in determining the location of water treatment. So the first one is among the factor is that the area can supply resources enough water for demand. This is because of a water treatment require a large amount of water source on a daily basis to be treated and channeled to consumer. This also due to the demand for water treated nowadays is growing and needed by the user. At the same time, water treatment plant need to distribute water treated to all nearby users adequately. Next, the area to be selected that is located near or not too far with the user area. This is because to ensure that the flow and treated water can be easily channeled more fast to surrounding area user. In this case, also can reduce cost of construction in pipelines to consumer area. In addition, this is also can avoid the problem of connection of water supply in a circle user because of the distance of the plant and the user area is not too far. So we go to the next question is state the process in A, B, C, D, E, and F. Interpret the process involved in C and D according to raw water treatment process. So from the picture, from the diagram below, I can draw the water treatment process picture like this. The first one is from intake go to the mixing as a chemical addition. Next we go to the coagulation, sedimentation, filtration, disinfect, storage, and the last one is distribution. So the last one is process in C and D. So the process happen in C and D is the first one is flocculation. Flocculation is the agglomeration of destabilized particle and colloid to make settable or filtrable particle. This is subsequently removed by setting and filtration. And the next one is dissolved air flotation. process that clarifies water by the removal of suspended water. So thank you. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Muhammad Mustafa Mazari. Okey, hari ni untuk jawapan set 4 soalan 1 bahagian B. Soalan 1, describe two source of water supply for domestic use in Malaysia. Pertama, surface water. Surface water is water found on land surface. When it rains, rainwater will undergo some hydrological process such as intersection and infiltration. Rainwater will flow on the surface of the earth as surface water that will reach drainage system such as rivers, dams and lakes. Rivers are the main source of water for daily use, industry and irrigation resource for agriculture. And second is underground water. Groundwater means water stored in the ground or rocks located below the earth's surface. Malaysia has about 5,000 billion cubic meters of unexplored groundwater storage. Ni contoh bentuk bumi. Soalan B, characteristic of water based on physical, chemical and biological. First, taste and odor. Most of the odor producing compounds in domestic wastewater result from the anaerobic biological decomposition of organic materials. Industrial treatment systems also have specific odor source and encounter unique problem in dealing with the odors. Chemical hardness. Hardness is an indicator to industry of potential precipitation of calcium carbonate in cooling towers and boilers. Interference with soap and dyes in cleaning textile industries and with emulsifiers in photographic development. Biological, protozoa. Protozoa are single-celled microscopic animals, consume solid organic particles, bacteria and algae for food, and they are in turn ingested as food by higher-level multicellular animals. Aquatic protozoa are floating freely in water and sometimes called zooplankton. They form cysts that are difficult to inactive by disinfection. Soalan C, 3 factors on human activities could cause resulted to reduction of fresh water. First, deforestation in water catchment area, extensive forest exploration in logging and agricultural activities is the cause of soil erosion. Slope deposition and erosion affect the supply and quality of water resources. 2. Garbage dumping into river. Most rivers in Malaysia are polluted with garbage and industrial waste. Based on the Department of Environment Monitoring in 2016, a total of 229 out of 4,473 rivers nationwide were found to be polluted. 3. Removal of fertilizer and chemical pesticide from agricultural area also cause water pollution. Rainwater will carry chemical fertilizer and pesticide used by farmer into the river. This toxic substance will kill aquatic life and also causes a decrease in oxygen and in turn affect the ecosystem.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nura Ezrina Natasha binti Rosli and my matric number is 01 DKA19F 1150. Question 1A. Modern sewerage system fall under two categories that are domestic and industrial sewers and storm sewers. List the function of separate and combined system. The answer is, in a separate system, wastewater is drained separately through two separate sewage networks. In this case, the sewage networks for municipal wastewater and municipal treatment plants is not burdened with large amounts of meteoric water when it rains or snows. Combined sewerage systems are sewages that are designed to collect rainwater runoff, domestic sewage, and industrial wastewater in the same pipe. Most of the time, combined sewage systems transport all their wastewater to a sewage treatment plant, where it is treated and then discharged. For the next question is, Bandar Bukit Raja consists of 240 housing units, which is the following are some of the criteria of sewerage system in that residential area. Water demand per capita is 275 litre per capita per day. Household 5 person per unit. Flow rate factor 6 for population. Self-cleaning velocity is 0.45 meter per second. Manning coefficient, which is 0.0014. Circular width gradient is 1150 and assumption is full pipe flow. Calculate sewage pipe diameter and determine whether the velocity is adequate or this calculation is follow the formula, which is V bersamaan 1 per N darab M kuasa 2 per 3 darab I kuasa 1 per 2 bersamaan buka kurungan 1 per 0.014 darab dengan buka kurungan pi 1.0 kuasa 2 bahagi 4 dibahagikan dengan pi 1.0 tutup kurungan dan dikuasakan dengan kuasa 2 per 3 darab dengan 1 per 300 tutup kurungan. Seterusnya 71.429 darab dengan 0.250 darab dengan 3.333 darab 10 kuasa negatif 3 dan jawapan V untuk V ialah 0.8 dan D ialah 0.3. For question 1C, propose 5 ways to prevent infiltration and inflow in sewerage system. The first one is flow monitoring. The first step in identifying INI is to identify where problems are occurring and isolate the areas that have the worst INI. Set up flow monitoring instrument in each of your city's sewages. By monitoring the flows, you can better identify which areas may have problems. Second, manhole inspection and 3D technology. Inspection of manholes can identify leaks from joints and provides the opportunity to review the drainage near a structure. Manholes can be located within a wetland or ditch that gets submerged during rain events. These manholes can contribute significant inflow and infiltration through leaky covers. Three-dimensional manhole scanning technology can inspect manholes and uncover these defects. Third, smoke testing. After smoke testing reveals INI, there are a number of things you can do to reduce or eliminate it. However, depending on where the leaks are found, the fix can fall on homeowners. These are things like disconnecting the roof drains and fixing the clean-out caps. If the testing reveals leaks in the city connections, you may have to eliminate the storm and sanitary cross connections. This can be costly but yields great savings over time. Next is dye testing. Dye testing can be used to identify leaks and confirm smoke testing results and uses water mix with a non-toxic dye. The colored water is pumped through the ground and stormwater system and appears in the sanitary sewer collection system where leaks occur. For the last one is closed-circuit television inspection, which is CCTV pipe inspection. Cities can peek inside their pipes through the use of CCTV. A small camera travels down the length of a pipe and produces visuals, where an operator can identify leaks by way of a monitor view at the surface. CCTV inspection can reveal the need of rehabilitating leaky pipes. Pipe rehabilitation options can include core, in-place piping CIPP, trenchless rehabilitation, chemical grouting to seal up leaks, and open cut replacement of pipes.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to my lecturer. Today I will present about the question 1 of December 2018. The answer to question A is that there are 5. There is 1 domestic demand, 2 commercial demand, 3 industrial demand, 4 crop agriculture livestock, and 5 is public use. For the question B, by using incremental increase method, first, calculate the total population from 1970 to 2010, then the amount must be divided by 4 due to an incremental increase of 4 years. After that, estimate the population by 2020 and add to the incremental increase of 20,906 until 2040. And we get answer for an incremental increase in 2040 of 153,589. For the answer to question C is using the formula WDN. Next, calculate the sum of all that is included in the bracket. And we'll get an answer of 72,090,000. Then the sum must be multiplied by the NRW value of 0.12. And we'll get a total of 50,138,900. Last, both amount must be added to get the actual value of 88 million liters per day. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rena Hakimi bin Daeng Adam. My matrix number is 01 DKA19 F1152. I'm from class DKA3D. I want to present about my question, which is June 2019, question 3. First question is at least 3 importance of water usage. For the answer is 1 is domestic, 40 until 60% from the total water supply. Malaysian domestic use 230 liter person per day. Domestic use depends on climate, social status, quality and cost of water, sanitation system, supplies and consumer awareness. Second is business and commercial. Demand is amount made by quantity of employees, residents and space. Lastly is for public is recreation, foundation, pool and recycle water. For question B is based on the water quality standard by World Health Organization WHO. Explain the water characteristic of flows. First is color. The color of the water is an indication that it contains contaminants of different materials and in varying concentration. Second is some of these materials are chemical in nature. These are mostly industrial influence discharge of factories. Third is the other types of influence in water that impart color to it are organic in nature. This can be minerals, different types of weeds and humus. For second is odor and taste. Odors range from musty smells to hazardous gas. Second is most of the other producing compounds in domestic wastewater result from the anaerobic biological decomposition of organic materials. Lastly is industrial waste treatment system also have specific odor source and encounter unique problems in dealing with the odors. For turbidity is measure of the cloudiness of water. The cloudier the water, the greater the turbidity. Second is caused by suspended matter such as clay, silt, and organic matter, and by plankton and other microscopic organisms that interfere with the passage of light through the water. Lastly is turbidity itself is not a major health concern, but high turbidity can interfere with this infection and provide a medium of microbial growth. It also may indicate the presence of microbes. For the last question is the source of the Earth's water can be described by the water cycle in which the inlet water is direct proportional to the outlet. First is interpret surface water resource. Surface water is any body of water above ground, including streams, rivers, lakes, wetlands, rivers, and creeks. The ocean, despite being salt water, it also considered surface water. Surface water participate the hydraulic cycle of water cycle, which involve the movement of water to and from the Earth's surface. Purification and water runoff feeds bodies of surface water. Explain for human impact results in a reduction of fresh water and degradation of water quality. First is affect aquatic life. For example, the waters in Terengganu due the dumping of domestic waste into the sea cause turtles to die due the plastic ingestion. Second is affect human health. Disease such as chlorine, itching, or allergies and germs. Third is reduce oxygen pressure in water. Reducing the amount of sunlight penetration water, disrupting the growth of photosynthesis and microorganisms. For the lastly is the beauty of the world is now affected. Beach, seas or rivers filled with rubbish are annoying and not beautiful to looking at. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Akmal bin Sukri. Okay, I got question section A, question 1, sesi Jun 2017. Okay, question 1A. Identify two factors that affect the population growth. First, birth rate. It decreases if the practice of family planning practiced by the population of the area. Better educated people who not like the number of well-child. Government policy may alter the birth rate. Secondly, migration rate, industry growth and employment opportunities. For 1B, for the population of town A, year 2030. Okay, for year 1960, percent population increase, 8,000 divides 36,000 times 100% equal to 22.2%. 1970, 3,000 divide 39,000 times 100% equal to 7.7%. 1980, 2,000 divide 41,000 times 100% equal 4.9%. And 1990, 3,000 divide 44,000 times 100% equal 6.8%. Okay, total population increase 16,000. Okay, total for percent population increase 41.6%. Decade average 6,000 divide 4 and get 4,000. For percent population increase 41.6% divide 4 equal 10.4%. For year 2000, 44,000 plus bracket 10.4% times 44,000 and get 48,576 for 2010. 48,576 plus 10.4% times 48,576 and equal to 53,627 for 2020. 53,627 plus 10.4% times 53,627 equal to 59,204 for 2030. 59,204 plus 10.4% times 59,204 equal to 65,361. Okay, for question C1, answer water demand for 2030, 65,361 times 0.93 times 1.11 and equal to 66,864 liter per day. Okay, for answer C2, additional demand 2000 water demand 2030, 65,361 times 0.93 times 1.1 plus 1 over 3 and 65,361 times 0.93 times 1.1 plus 0.15 and bracket 65,361 times 0.93 times 1.1 plus 1 over 3 bracket 65,361 times 0.93 and times 1.1 and total in the bracket 66,864 plus 22,288 plus 30,372 and equal 102,524 liter per day. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.